time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Guys, here live, man. Here live. You know what's going on. You know what's going down tonight, man. It is Smackdown this Thursday night. Nah, not Thursday night. This Friday night. We are watching Smackdown on USA. Goodness sake, guys. Give me just a second. Hey, just now dropped my glasses. Not good, so I'm going to have to grab that. I see you, Lucas. I see you in the building. What's going on, Lucas, my man? Going on, Lucas? Be right here. All right. So right now we have Ilya Dragunov in the ring with Axiom. Well, right now they outside of the ring. So hey, all right. Howdy, folks. You forgot to join my StreamYard at 3 p.m. Well, you know, Lucas, I was pretty busy at 3 p.m. today, so sorry about that. I'm out to get with you next time. But hey, glad that you on, man. Glad that you rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. And as you come in, everybody comes in, give us thing a like, man. Whatever platform you're on, definitely give us thing a like. We appreciate that. But yeah, I am here solo rocking tonight. And hey, it is what it is, man. But hey, tonight, looking forward to a pretty good Smackdown. A little bit later, I may come on tomorrow and talk about Smackdown from last week, guys. As you know, it was in my hometown of Greenville, South Carolina. Me and Chris, we was there, along with a friend of ours, man, John Shooter Hargrove. So we was all there, man, and I definitely want to get on and I want to talk about that. Saucy Girl Christine says, hey, Harry, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. What's going on? Magnum says, greetings, Harry, and chat, no doubt. All right. Lucas said, it's been a year since we've been friends. Okay, cool, Lucas. That is great, man. That is great. I'm glad that we met you and everything, and we've been friends that long, and you've been friends with the chat that long. So I'm glad that's happening, bro. Definitely glad that's happening, youngster. All right, guys, but hey, we got this thing right here going on, man. We got the Smackdown going on. I was going to be doing it in the other room, in the living room. This right here, this Smackdown on this television is a little bit behind. So I was going to do it in there because that right there was right on time. So the timing is a little different here. And I was kind of like watching the football game too. Clemson versus Louisville. But you know, hey, I decided to do this. And Christopher Burton wanted to do it with me tonight, but where he's at, he doesn't have good lightning or anything like that. So it's hard to set up. So it's all good. Oh, good. All right, but man, Max is coming in clear, Harry. New equipment? No, that's not new equipment, man. Not at all. They doing a little something different with StreamYard. So they have some kind of new satellite thing going on. And so it's being tested right now. So hopefully everything continues to go well. All right. A nice drop kick by Axiom, guys. But I will be coming on a little bit later on, guys. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. I may just continue on and talk about it after this show, talk about it last week when SmackDown was in Greenville, South Carolina. And I will be talking about this past Monday Night Raw. A lot of people really enjoyed Monday Night Raw, and I just want to give you my opinion on Monday Night Raw. I did not watch, AEW Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. I heard that was really incredible. I will watch that tomorrow, and I will give you guys my opinion on that too. So definitely I'm definitely going to try to catch up on some of these things wrestling wise. But I will do that. I'll probably do that after the football game tomorrow or right before the football game that I want to watch tomorrow. So, but yeah, I definitely want to check out this Blood and Guts and see, is the hype really, is it warranted? Does it back up? Did the show back up all the hype that it's getting? And man, that's hard for me to believe, but we'll see. Lucas, let me guess right now. No link. No, not right now, Lucas. No, not right now. I'm just getting started, man. Just getting started. Give me a little bit of time. All right, so the beginning of the show, you had Charlotte Flair, which I was listening to that. I was basically setting up. Charlotte Flair was out with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss, and she basically said she can't do the War Games. This War Games thing still seems a little weird, even though I know they've been using War Games on NXT and everything like that. But when I think about War Games, I think about WCW, NWA Jim Crockett, guys. For some reason, they are bringing that back to me. I probably wouldn't think about it so much if wrestling wasn't in the shape that it's in right now. But yeah, let's hope we get something really great tonight. All right, my man Mag talking about Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts was off the chain, or whatever the cool kids are saying. Yeah. All right. Lucas said, I knew it. Lucas, just stay calm, man. And maybe I'll get you on tonight, okay? But yes, yeah, I gotta check out that Blood and Guts and see how it came out. I know my man Ricky Steamboat was on there, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. Ric Flair did not get on the show for some reason. He was there, but he didn't get on the show for some reason. Something went down. I was watching something about it, but I didn't get to finish seeing that. But it's okay. I think they wanted him to get physical. He was supposed to be in that attack. What happened on Steamboat, but they didn't want Flair to get physical. He wasn't. They saw that he was not ready for this. But man, I'm gonna give this match 2 stars, guys. I had it at about 2.2. I had to take my eyes off of it for a minute. But Mag, give me your score on this, man, and anybody else here, you got a score, whatever. But anywhere from 2.2 to 0.2, either 2.2, one more tenth of a point will give it 2.5 stars. So I have no problem with 2.5 stars. But this match is 2 stars, basically, and that's pretty much like running from Monday Night Raw, because in Monday Night Raw, to me, everything was 2 stars except for 1, 2.5, or 3-star match. But everything was basically 2 stars. Don't mean that it wasn't a good match. It's like all the interruption that the WWE is doing now with the commercials and everything, and it shortens the match on TV. You really don't get to see all of it. It kind of like gives me a little different taste, as far as a little bit. My visual is a little different than what it would be when I'm live. But to tell you the truth, when we was live last Friday night, it basically, man, it just, oh, man, I got to talk about it. All right, Black Rain 7920 in the building. What's up, Black Rain? Black Rain says, what's up? Man, this R-Truth thing beginning to trip me out. Supposed to be Ron Killings now, and supposed to be serious. But Triple H is off the chain, man. I guess you got to be saying that now, Mag. But yeah, Triple H is on another level, guys. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mag. I can go with 2.5 stars. Like I said, I had 2.2 from what I saw, and 2.2, 2.3. 2.3 is 2.5. So yeah, 2.5 stars. Oh gosh, I love this girl, man. I love Chelsea. All right, I'm going to give that segment a thumbs up. Let's see. And then right after that, you had the first match. You had Jey Uso. Jey Uso took on The Miz. I thought that was a pretty good match from what I saw. I'm going to go ahead and roll 2.5 stars when I think about that. I'm not exactly sure. I think I had 2. Maybe 2. I'm going to go 2.5 stars on that match. It was pretty good. And I definitely give it thumbs up to The Miz when he went out there and he was talking and everything. So I definitely give that 2 stars. Let's see. That was pretty good. Let's see what else doesn't happen. And then you had this match here. You had the Ilya Dragunov. You had Ilya Dragunov face off in the back room with Tommaso Ciampa, and that was pretty decent. I'll go ahead and give that 2 stars. I mean, not 2 stars. I'll go ahead and give that a thumbs up. I mean, but so far, SmackDown's been pretty decent. I think it's starting off pretty good. I thought Monday Night Raw started off pretty good. SmackDown in Greenville, I think me and Chris, we pretty much, me, Chris, and John Shooter Hargrove, we gave it 2.5 stars, 2.5, and me and Chris talked about it today, anywhere from 2.5 to 3 stars. It was pretty good in Greenville, but it was not what it usually, what we usually have in Greenville. Put it that way. And I want to give my opinion on what I think WWE is doing as far as the way they display all their commercials and everything. It's like a TV show, and I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna talk about that on a separate podcast. I'm gonna talk to you guys about what I was talking to the people at Greenville in Greenville about. I was talking to people, and everybody basically was agreeing with what I was saying. But yeah, I think it's time to bring back. It's time for them to bring back the house shows. If they're gonna continue to run the way they run, then WWE needs house shows, and they need to have a premium show on Saturdays. They need to go with a premium show. I'm not talking about a Saturday night main event or whatever, but they need to go back to Saturday morning, doing a Saturday morning show before football starts. And I'm talking about a live show, most likely, and a Saturday night show, or a Saturday morning show and a Sunday evening show or something like that. But they need to maximize, if they want to maximize these commercials, that way they can space them out. With the same companies, they can space out the commercials, and they can satisfy their advertisers if they did it that way. And they can make more money. They can make just as much money by doing the house shows. You can get everything set up for your SmackDown and what else, and Raw. You want to keep those. You want to keep those big shows and NXT. But for your big shows, man, everything has to be perfect, man. You have got to be spectacular every Monday night. You got to be spectacular every Friday. If they're going to charge these kind of prices on these shows, you have to be spectacular. You have to be great. You have to be outstanding every Monday and every Friday night. It should be like this big event, and it is a big event when not NXT, but WWE comes to your town. But they got to give people a lot more than what they're giving them, and giving people 4 or 5 matches. I mean, it was 5 matches on the show, but we had 2 matches after the show was over. So it was 7 matches, but still, I remember, anytime it was back in the day, you had Raw come to town, you had WCW, Monday Nitro, whatever coming to town. It was 10 matches, guys. If they're going to run 2 to 3 hours, it was 10 matches. Come on now, give people what they are paying for. And I mean, people paying a lot more money than what they was paying back then. And my man, all right, said, what's up? Lucas said, what's up? Black Rain says, and they going back to 3 hours with this product. Yeah, exactly. And Black Rain 7920, which I put in our group chat today, and I just said I think is a mistake. It's just dumb. A lot of people think it's a mistake. They do not have the personnel to do it. They have it, but that personnel is in the back eating catering. And they got all kind of trouble right now to come up with something to put on these shows right now. I mean, everything is attack. It's just flat out dumb. And those attacks are just like, basically they are something to distract you from, the real story here is that, hey, we can't be creative. We can't come up with nothing new. It's sad. All right, RC Outlaw, what's up, Harry? What's up, RC Outlaw? Good that you're in the building, my man. All right. Max says, first of the year, they are going back to 3 hours. Yes, yep. Max said that Black Rain. Yeah, they are, man. I just don't know. I just don't know, guys. And that's something I want to talk about, too. I got to do a separate podcast on that. Going back to the 3 hours, that right there, let's see. There's a couple other things that I want to talk about as far as what WWE is doing. I definitely want to talk about. So it's some main things that I want to talk about. But yeah, I definitely want to get in and talk about what they should be doing. What do I think they should be doing? And, I just gave you guys a little short version of it. But yeah, they need to change up they need to change up a lot of things. And pretty much, that's the only way I can see them giving us their best. Now, will the wrestlers have to work a little bit more? Yes, they'll have to work a little bit more. But if they want to maximize their profits the way TKO Holdings and Endeavor is talking about, then they need to do that. And yeah, and we talking about Maxine Dupree, how, and we talking about the botches and things like that of some of these wrestlers, and they're not ready. They get in there and you see them messing up, and it's because they don't have the house shows like they used to. House shows will make you, you be able to perfect your art. All right, WWE has enough talent to do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday show. Just saying, yes, man, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I mean, I have no problem with them keeping exactly what they have, even though we adding on. Now they can get rid of Evolve and they can get rid of whatever that fast thing, whatever. I know it ain't on Twitter anymore, I don't think. But they can get rid of all those other things and they can add a Saturday show. They can do a Saturday show, and maybe even a Sunday, but doing a Saturday morning and a Saturday night. And guys, I think that will pretty much solve all their problems. And I'm like I said, I'm not talking about main event, which they already lost that spot on NBC. NBC is going to be shown on Peacock exclusively, not on. It's going to be shown on Peacock, the streaming network, not Peacock. NBC is not going to be on TV anymore. They lost that, and NBC is frustrated, and the ratings way down. They didn't like that, so they said they're going to be on Peacock exclusively, and that's sad. That's sad. All right, my man Outlaw says, "It's Ray. Guess you forgot my wrestling name. Laugh out loud." I had a feeling it might be you, Ray, but I wanted to make sure. But all right, Ray, appreciate you, man, coming in. All right, man says, "Greetings, Ray." But man, they got to concentrate. They got to build stars. They have got to build stars. And from what I'm seeing, as far as what was going on with Charlotte earlier, she's saying she can't do that with Alexa. Then Charlotte, she's going to be going after. She's going to be going for the world title. She'll be going after Jay. That's what it looks like to me. She wants to be back in that title picture, and I think it's a mistake that they took the titles off of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I wanted to see a long title run. That's a dynamic tag team. There could have been a dynamic tag team, guys. Legendary tag team. All right. Ray said, "How you doing, Mag, brother?" My man, Mag, how you doing, brother? All right, Mag says, "I'm doing great, Ray. How about you?" All right, come Solo Sikoa, guys. Man, I hope it's not. I just hope it's not an attack. I hope it's not. Wow, man. I went back and I was watching one of the Clash of Champions. I think Clash of Champions 12. Oh man, it was so great. It was just, I watched half of it. It was just so great. I was watching it on YouTube. And a friend of mine said, "What did you see it?" I said, "I was watching it on YouTube. WWE has a channel." It was outstanding. But WCW had its bad moments. They had their bad years. After '98, man, I couldn't stomach it. When it hit like '99, I couldn't stomach WCW no more. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same company. Okay.
I care about these men standing behind me. I care about their loyalty to me.
All right.
Like you know nothing about loyalty when it comes to family. And as a matter of fact, Sammy, you better watch who the hell you're talking to before I come in here and kick your ass. Because don't forget, you're still wounded, aren't you?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Sammy, you can't fight everybody.
Right here, right now, where you stand, Sammy. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait until you're 100% medically cleared good to go. And once you do get cleared, Sammy, understand, I'm coming for you.
All right, man. I mean, Ray said doing good. Just a little upset with WWE doing same. Oh, like with Nikki Bella, I got your back. Oh, now I'm attacking to get title shot. Yep, that right there too. That's something too, Mag. I want to talk about. I got all that stuff written down. I definitely want to talk about all that. It just, I just. Yeah, that thing with Nikki Bella and everything, it just, I don't know, man. Look, I'm just like, wow, can't anybody be friends in this business and just be friends? And I knew this was gonna happen. I was looking for Y6. I'm like, is that Y6 out there? Don't look like it, is it? Who is that came out and attacked? I don't think it's Y6. Don't look like him. But either way it go, I am not shocked that this happened. Oh my gosh. See, this right here doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress nobody. I think after a while, you have some of the people just, some of the people that really don't understand wrestling or been watching it for a long time. Okay, you got, they setting up for War Games, I guess. Why wouldn't they have them against the Y6 MFTs? Because Shinsuke and who was that? The Machine Guns or whatever the name you want to call it. I forgot what they called. And Dragon Lee. No, not me, Ray Phoenix. What I'm talking about, Dragon Lee, Ray Phoenix. But Phoenix, Shinsuke, and those guys, Machine Guns, Motor City Madman, whatever you want to call them. I think they call them whatever they call. Yeah, I hear you, man. Why can't we be friends? War. And they just need to go ahead and build a tag team division and put Jay with his brother, keep him with his brother.
War Games, count me in. I got your back.
Yeah, Motor City Machine Guns. Also, man, thanks, man. I just thought Machine Guns. I couldn't. Motor City Madman, Motor City. Because I was a tag team back in the day called Motor City Madman. Oh, that was crazy. Dang, man. That's a big dude. Braun Strowman. This joker coming to eat, man. If I had a restaurant, I'd be like, look, I'll tell WWE, whoever I'm advertising, I say, you guys need to pay a little extra. Because they said, all food bill is going to jack up, bro. Might be helping my company, but all food bill is going to jack up for real. I wanted to go see the movie today. My wife was at work, but I was wanting to go see that Running Man movie. I thought about going to see it myself, guys. I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, my wife would yell at me. All right, Christine, Saucy Girl, laugh out loud. All right. Man, say Ted Nugent, the Motor City man. Ted Nugent, all right. Woo, boy, I know the juggles into some rock and roll, man. What's going on, Alma? How you doing, Alma Clark? Says, what's up, Harry and Christopher? How y'all doing this evening? I'm doing pretty good, resting up some, eating dinner and watching Smackdown. Still taking antibiotics for this crust, coughing still. Alma, you are in our prayers. Wow. I hope you get over this soon. I know the weather is going up and down up there, in down there in Texas is going up and down just like it is here in South Carolina. I mean, Greenville, our weather is just outrageous. Freezing to death Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it warmed up, and yeah, it's crazy. McCall says, "What's up, Mag Saucy Girl? Be 90." All right, my man Ray said Triple H needs to start telling these wrestlers quit making it so obvious you are waiting to make a move. Yep, exactly. Mag says, "Greetings, Alma." All right, my man Ray says, "Hello, Alma." Christine says, "Hello, Miss Alma." Alma says, "Did you get any snow?" B90. You must be talking to Christine. Mag says, "Hey, Christine." Christine says, "Hey, Mag." But once again, I appreciate everybody coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Guys, rocking with me tonight. Whatever platform you're on, go ahead and hit that like, man. Hit that like, share it. Share this thing, share. Do what it takes, man, hey, to pretty much get this thing out to people, let everybody know that HBT is in the house, Straight Up Wrestling Show is in the house. All right. But yeah, guys, if you guys stay on a little bit longer tonight after the show, maybe it depends on how I feel. I may just go ahead and go over what we did in Greenville last week, and I'll talk about Monday Night Raw a little bit. It won't only take probably about 15 minutes or whatever, but I want to go over those cards, go over what happened, and I don't know. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I won't do that. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will, because I definitely want to do a separate podcast, like I said, as far as the state of WWE and what they're doing. Most definitely. Thanks, Mag. Mag says hit the likes. Yeah. Alma Clark says blood and guts were crazy. That's what I hear. Alma heard it was great. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Guys, give me a shot to check that out. I'm going to try to check that out. Some of it tonight, and I'll check out make sure I get it all done by tomorrow, and I'll come on and give you my review. I want to do it before Collision come on tomorrow. I'm going to try to do Collision. Probably do Collision tomorrow night, unless something comes up and we end up going to an indie show or whatever, but I'm going to try to do Collision tomorrow night too. Try to watch as much wrestling as I can. I'm going to try to consume as much wrestling as I can for the next couple of weeks. I really want to give you my opinion and the state of the business, how everything is looking, and where I think it's going. All right, Ray said I will stay. Okay, cool. Ooh, Mag says Dustin is good, Blizzards are not. Exactly, Mag. Exactly. Man, when I was growing up, oh my gosh. Woo. Back in the 70s, in the 80s, Greenville used to get the prettiest snow. And it would snow like every Thursday. Like in February, I mean like January, February, every Thursday it would snow. But we get the dusting like anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 inches. Maybe, and it was like a dusting snow, and it would last for a day or two, and it just, didn't ice up or whatever, but it was just really pretty snow. You can go out there. It was enough to build a snowman and pretty much have snowball fights and things like that. It was great, man. It was beautiful snow. And then we started getting those ice storms. We started getting ice storms out the Hurricane Hugo back there in the 90s. I mean, in the 80s, in the late 80s, we started getting ice storms, a lot of them, and and we don't get as much snow. We get ice storms all the time, but it used to snow, for like 6 weeks straight. It would snow like every Thursday, or whatever. We get really pretty snow. Man, it was outstanding. It was a great time growing up and everything like that. But I think, once we got there, like that big, huge snow, we got like almost 2 foot of snow, I think, in 1988, like on my birthday. And then that right there, and then, like say, in Hurricane Hugo after that, everything just went crazy. Everything went crazy. All right, my man Max says, I'll hang with you, Harry. Just me and Dan the cat tonight. Okay, Dan the cat tonight. Cool. Appreciate you and your cat hanging out, my brother. All right, and Ray. Harry, have you been watching Triple A Lucha Libre? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I have not been watching that. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to get into that, to tell you the truth. It's so much stuff because I'm not only going to be doing these things with Smackdown, and I'm going to try to get with Smackdown as much as possible and stay in touch with AEW. And I'm going to try to get back into NXT. Definitely get back into NXT. And I'll be doing a lot of these indies. I got a lot of indie shows coming up. I don't want to get too caught up in everything, man, because it just takes over your life. So now I don't think I'll be watching that Lucha Libre stuff. I might dig in a little bit on it. All right. No, don't want any blizzards. As far as I'm concerned, if only needs to snow the week of Christmas to New Year's. Exactly. And we got a white Christmas, what? In Greenville 3 years ago, I think. 3 years ago it snowed on Christmas, and that was great. That was beautiful. Well, maybe it's 2 years ago, but yeah, 3 years ago. That was beautiful. We hadn't had one in a long time. But it's snowing on Christmas, man, and we didn't supposed to get it. They didn't even get it. It didn't even come on the news. Nobody didn't know, and you couldn't see it on the phones. It just came out of nowhere, man. We had a beautiful, and it was a beautiful snow too. I think it was like 4 to 7 inches, depending on where you was at here in the upstate. I think here at my house we had anywhere from 5.5 to 6 inches, and it was like a dust and snow. It was that soft snow that you could do a lot of. It was really nice. Okay, all right. I might have to check that out then, Ray. Ray said they've been having a lot of great matches. Okay. Definitely, I have to look into some of it. Woo, man. Get another swig of the smart water, guys. But yeah, I definitely want to see. Probably go see it tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe get my wife up and we might go early. I may go see The Running Man tomorrow. Hopefully it's pretty good. I heard it was pretty good. Well, from what the critics are giving it, but you never know with the critics. I like to get the fan experience. People that go to the movies for enjoyment. Even though I do think critics enjoy it, I think sometimes they are a little too critical of some movies, and then you watch them, and then they're better than what you get from the critics. The critics can be overly critical sometimes, and it's better than what they came up with. So I definitely want to get into that, see that. Try to start going back to the movies. Don't do that as much. I think I went to one movie within the past 3 or 4 months. One movie within the last year. But yeah, I definitely want to get back into going and watch some movies and everything. Me and my wife, that's what we used to do. We movies all the time. And Blockbuster, Pick a Flick, and what's that other movie gallery or whatever that was? Hollywood movies, all that stuff. Yes, most definitely, Mac. The Running Man looks good. Sure does. I definitely want to see it. I need to watch the other one. I need to go back and YouTube have that one on free. It's free on YouTube. The Running Man. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Hollywood Video. Yes, that's it, Mag. Thank you.
That's why we've donated over $2 billion to strengthen local communities over the last 5 years. From over 745 million.
And yeah, they was talking about Smackdown, and I think the weeks heading into the Greenville Smackdown, they did like 5,000, a little bit of like 4,500 the 1 week, and then the next week they did like 5,200 or whatever, but they numbers have really been down or whatever. Greenville had probably about 9,000. I say it was anywhere from 8,800 to maybe 9,200. That's from just estimating, me being, just estimating the crowd. That's what it was. It wasn't, Greenville usually, I think the smallest crowd we've had for WWE in the last 3 or 4 years is they did a Raw here not too long ago. It was 10,800. It was 10,800. So, but Greenville usually sell out. It's usually easily about 12 to 14,000 in Greenville, if not more. I don't think WWE ever hit 15,000 to 16,000 in Greenville. I know WCW did. WCW did 16,000 for Nitro, but I don't think WWE ever sold Greenville out. I'm not sure, but I know it's gotten close. Well, they've called it a sellout, but it really wasn't. It didn't take up every seat. I mean, some seats that was blacked out. They covered over, and they called it a sellout. I say anything over 12,000. 11,000, 12,000. If you can put that in an arena, you can call it a sellout. All right. My man Matt says Blockbuster and Hollywood Video have those sales for DVDs for $20. Okay. Hey, and Netflix beginning to put stores. They're going to put stores in malls. So if you still got a mall in your area, then man, that's great. I know a lot of malls are not operating anymore, or a lot of cities malls are just dead. But Netflix is putting stores in malls now, so that's going to be interesting. And I know one I think was supposed to be opening up this week. I forgot what city is in, but man, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see that, and hopefully they'll be putting one in Greenville's Mall, Haywood Mall here soon. I would love to see that. That's one of the busiest malls in the country. So I definitely look forward to that, because I go out there every now and then. But I'm gonna be honest. The only time I really go to the mall is when I'm going to the Apple store or something like that. I don't really frequent the mall a lot. A lot of kids, a lot of Gen Z has brought the malls back. It's the highest traffic of any generation in the malls. Gen Z, they loving the malls, man, and it's good to see that it's making a comeback. But in a lot of cities, they don't have their malls operating no more. Come on, LA. Goodness sake. Yeah, they say they will be, Mag. They're going to be selling DVDs. They're going to have a lot of nostalgia stuff. They're going to be, having titles and things like that that's hard to find. Because I know Netflix used to have a lot of titles that they wouldn't have, that I used to look for. Because when I was with Netflix, the reason I still pay a lot for it is I used to get the DVDs off of it. I would order the DVDs and I had the service. But the DVD service went away, but they didn't lower people's premiums. I was like, man, I'm about to go and cancel that, but I decided not to. I'm just like, I really don't use it, but a lot of people around me, I let use it. So I use my Netflix. My wife, she uses it a lot, and my son uses it a lot. My daughter has it, and I have another friend who has it. But they use mine, and I pay for the 5-6 screens or whatever it is. So I decided to go ahead and keep it that way, because Netflix, if you had that service, Netflix was sending out free DVDs to people. Like if you wanted, because I will only order one a day or whatever, like, and it'll come one day, I watch it and I send it back and they send another one. But every DVD that I had like 4 out, and then whatever I had on my Queen, they sent to me. So they was giving away DVDs at the end there. They had a whole library, and they was telling people, go into your Queen and order as many DVDs as you can. They was giving away DVDs, man. It was kind of crazy. But I guess they didn't give away all their DVDs. All right, LA Knight took the win. I'm gonna get us one between two and 2.5 on this one right here. I'll give it between 2 and 2.5. But yeah, they gave away. I don't think they gave away all the DVDs they had, man. Because they said they're gonna be selling DVDs in these stores. A lot of nostalgia and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised. No, they never did. They never did do any video, VCR, VHS tapes or anything like that. So, but yeah, they say they have DVDs and Blu-ray. And to tell you the truth, I think they're going to make a lot of money off that because a lot of Gen Z, they are really getting into the physical copies of things. So, man, if I was Netflix, I'd get into music and sell records and albums and things like that because you know the store's going to be busy. If I was them, I'd get into music. Maybe they'll hear this and everything. Somebody come out and say, but I guarantee if they got into music, Netflix could actually take up the slack where MTV left off because MTV have left music. So, but it needs to be somebody as far as music. It has to be somebody innovative. It has to be somebody who can drive the streets as far as music, because music needs a change. It needs a change up as far as the way it's going. Okay, here we go. Here we go. God, dog, is it Lash Legend? Oh my gosh, man, that dude, man, that had everybody cracking up, guys. In Greenville, we was talking about. She came out there, me and Chris, about who in the world is that dude grabbing Alexa Bliss? Man, Lash Legend just beating up everybody. That big. And you know what? Anytime her and Nia Jax want to be the tag team champs, who can stop them? Come on, who can stop those women? Now I can see if you had Jade and Bianca's tag team, they could. But who can stop those two? And Raquel was teaming Rhea. They could do it. But man, that's an overwhelming force. It really is. All right, here she comes. Speaking of Jade. Strong force lady is strong face lady is in the house. Yes, sir, man. Strong face lady in the house. Yeah, that dude be man, that dude ain't playing around. Strong face lady is going to the top. She destroying anything in her way. Yep, here comes the storm. Yeah, I'm with you, Christine. They should be in the men's division. Yep. I can agree there. I can agree with that. And this BFAB thing, man, I just don't know. Why in the world is she getting a shot? Okay, Clemson 10-9. Clemson 10, Louisville 9 at halftime. Interesting. Man, I wish they would just Shinsuke should be a star. LA Knight should be a star. Jimmy and Jay need to be stars of the tag team division. They need to go back with a cruiserweight division. Ilya Dragunov need to be a cruiserweight champion. Put him and Carmelo Anthony and some of these other guys, make them cruiserweights. I don't know. It's just so many things. So many things they need to do different, to tell you the truth. But I think they lost, man. I really do. I think Triple H is lost in the sauce. Straight up. Well, once again, I appreciate everybody coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I'm HBT, your host, man. My boy Christopher Burton. He's not with us tonight, man, but hey, it's all good. Chris been working 2 jobs, so everything has flipping changed for him. But hey, good for him because hey, he's making that dough, man, and I like seeing that. But guys, hey, if you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, you hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. Do the same thing if you're over on Twitch. And, man, anytime that you see us on X, guys, formerly known as Twitter, we're not live on that tonight, but anytime you see us on that, man, go ahead and hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate that. Yes, he's feeling better, Christine. Definitely feeling better. What in the world we got going on here? Road to Revenge. That looks interesting. Okay, that looks interesting. eBay. I used to buy everything on eBay for a long time. Up until a couple years back, that's the only place I would really buy it if I was going for something like certain things. Even though you would have it on Amazon or whatever, I didn't trust Amazon that much because I had been ordering from eBay for so long. All right, Christine said good.
New Swiffer Mop Deluxe is made for small spaces. Give free to 75% more scrubbing power. And with the new locking head,
Get you guys and get your comments up here.
Can I borrow it?
the all-new Swiffer Mop Deluxe, the mother of all cleans.
I earned my degree online at Southern New Hampshire.
See something going on. I got some new thing going on here with okay, I like this. I like this. Got something new going on here with StreamYard. So hey. Okay.
I'm from Florida. I'm from Virginia. In North Carolina and St. Louis. I'm from Tennessee. And I'm from Georgia. Regardless of where you live across the country. Earn your degree at SNHU. Visit SNHU. Excuse me, Miss Shredder.
But man, yes, like I was saying, as far as let's see, go here. So we got Alma Clark here.
Don't you work here? I do, yeah.
Alma said, I'm mad about Santana losing the TNA World Belt to Frankie Kazarian last night. B90. Okay, I didn't know anything about that. I like Frankie Kazarian, though. I really do. But, yeah, I didn't know anything about that loss.
I switched to T-Mobile.
You get 4 iPhone 17s on them.
Wait, who's taking the picture? At T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 17s. Watch 4 lines for just $25.
But, yeah, what else? There's a lot of things going on in the world of wrestling that I would like to talk about. But let's see. I need to actually go and see it first. Because I'll tell you, for a couple days there, man, I was just groggy, didn't want to do anything. Yesterday and the day before, didn't want to do anything. I was just like, wow, man. You know, like sometimes you have those days you just want to take off and you just want to, you know, you just dragging. And those are the days I had for the last couple of days. But today I feel real good. Mag said that was a good match, Alma. Okay.
Jay finally became who we all expected her to be when she arrived in WWE. It took a bit of a change of attitude, basically telling the WWE Universe to go to hell. But Jade Cargill entered tonight, WWE Women's Champion. Yeah, she bulldozed her way through a banged up.
Yeah, and I want to know what you guys think about what you guys think about Mark Shapiro saying that WWE needs to come up with a new, you know, come up with some new like pay-per-views, new PLEs, some new names, some, you know, pretty much set some new standards. He's basically talking about going away from a lot of the stuff that Vince McMahon built over the years. So what you guys think about that? So he's talking about, you know, maybe going away from a lot of the traditional stuff that WWE is doing, you know, have done over the years, trying to, you know, pretty much separate himself from the Vince McMahon era, separate WWE from Vince McMahon era, and I think they tripping, man. I really do. I'm like, man, this dude is tripping. This guy is flat out tripping. Oh my gosh, man. This right here is a squash match. Alma said, I don't hate that he won, but the way they set this up, watch TNA Impact. Okay. Matt says, wow, B-Fab is as tall as Jay. Yes, she is. I wonder if she played ball too. Or she's just a big girl. Wow. Man, she is destroying. I just knew this was going to happen. Christine Saucy Girl, isn't he involved with baseball? You talking about Jade Cargill's husband? Yeah, he's a Major League Baseball player. I don't know if he's playing now, but he played for years, though. Goodness. Man, she is destroying this. She is destroying this girl, man. She is destroying B-Fab. Oh, Shapiro? No. All right. Yeah, I don't think he's the head of Endeavor. Mark Shapiro, I think he's second in charge after Ari Daivari. But, yeah, he doesn't have anything to do with baseball. I don't think Endeavor has any – I don't think they have an alignment with anything Major League Baseball or anything like that. I don't think. I could be wrong, though. Man, that was just pure destruction. And I give it 1.5 star. I give 1.5 star to Jade Cargill herself. Just what she did herself in the match. And B-Fab to show up and be brave enough to show up and take this battering. I'll go ahead and give it 2 stars, guys. Oh gosh. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. It won't be as easy with Mia Chin, but oh gosh. With Mi Chin, it's not going to be as hard. I mean, it's not going to be as easy with Mi Chin. Goodness sake. Yeah, Mag, that's what I had, 1.5 stars. Alma says 1.3 stars. Mag says 1.5 to 2 stars. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll with the 2 stars. I'm going to give it 2 stars because the girl took the beat down, man. She took the beat down, and I give it to her for being brave enough to go out there and talk all that smack and then have the gall to look at Jade like that, like, hey, you know, and she beat her up fair and square. I mean, she didn't cheat to beat her down. I mean, she just beat her down.
To compete for the career-altering opportunity to face the greatest of all time, John Cena, in his final match at Saturday night's main event. Tonight,
all right, Lucas, give me just a minute. I'll send a link. Let me see. All right, Lucas, give me just a moment, buddy. We'll bring you on for a little bit.
It's a former first-round draft pick, Carmelo Hayes. He'll be taking on Division's own Bronson Reed. Finally, the high-flying luchador, Penta, will go one-on-one with the Prince, Finn Balor. The only thing I have left to say, gentlemen, is good luck.
All right, Lucas, come on in when you get a chance.
So this is where we're at right now. Already in this tournament, Rusev, Sheamus, Jey Uso, and LA Knight have advanced. We know Monday night on Raw, we start the last of the first-round matches. Gunther returns to take on NXT Javon Evans.
All right, Javon Evans versus Gunther. Yep.
On Monday night. But what about when we head to Denver, Colorado? After I stop by and see Lucifer, of course, we are going to continue things rolling along with our final first-round matchups. How about this one? Penta goes one-on-one with Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. We also got a big tag team match next week from the Ball Arena in Denver.
I think Penta gonna win, but I'd rather see Finn Balor win that match. DIY versus Fraxium. Hope Fraxium take him out. Bronson Reed versus Carmelo Hayes, and I mean, why in the world I call him Carmelo Anthony? I remember calling him Carmelo Anthony just not too long ago in this show. Carmelo Hayes versus Big Bronson Reed.
I am here with Carmelo Hayes right now, and Melo, you've gone on record saying that you idolize John Cena, and it would be a dream to have his last match. So talk to me. Tell me, what would a win next week in the Last Time Is Now tournament mean for you?
First, I need to address this whole mid situation. Mike, you might have won the battle, but the war's just begun. I'm going to see you when I see you. And John Cena, the GOAT, the Last Time Is Now tournament. You got a long line full of heavy hitters, killers, all want to be the one that's going to put you down. All want to be the one that's going to hang your jersey from the rafters. So respectfully, John, I'm one of them. 50% of people might overlook it. 50% of people might know that I can get the job done. But 100% of me knows that if I get that shot, I won't miss.
It's pretty good, Carmelo.
I'm about to go out there and end Cody Rhodes. Then I'm going to end John Cena's career after I end you.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. Thumbs up for Carmelo's little segment, backroom segment. and the face off at the end there. So thumbs up to both of that, to both of those guys. All right, hey Lucas, how are you, buddy?
Hello, everybody. Sorry it took me a while to join. It's because I had to take a dump again.
Oh gosh, okay. All right, just 1 second. Let me get Christine. Christine said
Anyways,
Mark Shapiro used to be with the Indians. Now he is president and CEO of the Blue Jays. Might not be the same Mark Shapiro. Christine, could be though.
Anyways, I got some bad news.
What is the bad news? Hey, Alma.
Hi, Alma. Anyways, the bad news is, so I heard that. So yesterday, my location is issued a blizzard warning.
Oh boy, not good.
Nope, this is not good. And I see your thumbs up on the clock.
Yep.
But I'm just, oh shoot. I don't know why I can't get the core because it's like $44. I don't know why, and I only have 39. Anyways, do you want me to tell you what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight?
What you gonna have for dinner tonight, buddy?
I'm gonna have some popsicles, McDonald's fries, and a small wild cherry freeze.
All right, I'm glad you're getting some potatoes in there at least.
Oh, my potatoes! Seriously, I'm from McDonald's.
All right, I'm glad you get some McDonald's in. So eating some potatoes. So
yeah,
the other two things I can
and
slide on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some fries made of potatoes, popsicles made out of liquids, and a freeze made out of liquids as well.
Okay, that sounds good. The freeze sounds good. You don't need both of them, but hey, I guess it's not gonna hurt too much.
Popsicle? No, that ain't no dinner. What did he say? He said he had popsicles for dinner. Man, what in the world?
You should get you a little cheeseburger too or something, man. I
don't eat burgers.
You don't eat burgers, you just like fries and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
chicken
try
nuggets and stuff like that.
I'm gonna try beef flavored popsicles.
You don't like chicken nuggets and stuff?
I mean, I used to eat chicken nuggets when I was like 11, but I quit.
All right, what about start trying to eat some McChicken sandwiches or something like that? You know,
still allergic to them, but I am not allergic. I'm not allergic to cheese, popcorn, and butter, and potatoes, and that's it.
All right, well, just eat. Make sure you definitely don't want to eat things you're allergic to.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So do you know what I'm gonna try tonight?
What you gonna try tonight?
I'm gonna have beef flavored popsicles.
Beef flavored popsicles, okay, buddy.
No, I'm just joking. That doesn't exist.
I know it don't make sense, man, but it's still funny though, Lucas.
Yes, but I have some good news.
What's the good news, buddy?
Number one, yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Oh, tell your mom. I said, tell your mom the whole Straight Up Wrestling family says happy birthday. Happy birthday from Straight Up Wrestling Show. What's your mom's name?
My birthday is June 20th.
Okay, June the 20th. We'll keep that in mind. What's your mom's name?
I'm not telling you because she might kill me.
No, just give us a first name.
All right, I guess. Charity. Oh, wait. I think the chat said something. Harry, what's up, bro? How you doing? What's up?
What's up, Marcus? What's going on, Marcus? What is your mom's name? What is her middle name? Just give us something.
Salute to the SUW family. Hey, Lucas, Happy birthday to your mama. Yeah, but sadly you were late because her birthday was yesterday when the Gummy Bear albums was released.
All right. Well, once again, happy birthday to your mom, Lucas.
Yeah. And do you want me to tell you what the other good news is?
What's that?
41 days until Christmas.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. Alistair Black. Yeah, Christmas is getting close. You going what you eat on Thanksgiving? Do you like Thanksgiving dinner? Do you like Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's okra.
Okra, okay. Your birthday coming up on the 24th, Marcus. Okay, a few days before my mom's. Okay, all right, Marcus, we'll remember that.
Anyways, all right, guys, I have to go because my mom's here with my McDonald's and popsicles. So,
All right,
anyways, guys, goodbye.
Lucas, have a good
God
night.
loves you.
God loves you too, buddy. Appreciate you coming on. All right, Marcus, we definitely gonna be wishing you a birthday, a great big birthday from the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Mag says salute, bro, to Marcus. I mean, Marcus says salute, bro, to Mag. Mag says greetings, Marcus. Cool. All right, how much more time we got on this episode? Okay, this is going into the main event. Here come Cody Rhodes. Man, that gets on my nerve. That got on my nerve on last Friday night in Greenville. Cody Rhodes. I still liked it though, guys. But it can kind of like get on your nerve just a little bit. Just keep chatting in your ear. Christine Saucy Girl says, hey, Marcus. Man, people love that joke. I can tell you that. That's all I can really say. In Greenville, man, people just went crazy. They just go crazy over him. Just about everywhere he goes. I just think wrestling is missing a big opportunity with him. They just are. They're not. They need to book him right, man. And wow, Smackdown has been a 7 to 10 out of 10 stars, which is a B show tonight. All right. Alma says, what's up, Marcus B90? It's been close to a B show, if not a B show, Marcus. That's all I can really say right now. That's in case he forgets his name. Laugh out loud, Christine says. Marcus says, saucy girl, saucy Irish mama, 62 high sis. All right, Marcus said, Alma Clark, what's up, sis? Whoa. I mean, make no mistake, guys. I really think this guy, because when he came out Monday night, even, he come out and people started cheering for him. He come out besides CM Punk. Everybody was down with CM Punk. But as soon as he come out, everybody, singing Cody Rhodes. I mean, he's just very popular right now. He's the man in wrestling if they give him an opportunity by booking him right and everything. And you can pretty much, I make the case for Cody that Cody is the type of person that could really bring wrestling back to the mainstream, put it in the public's eye. He can do it. But you got to make this guy a superstar, man. I mean, a huge superstar. He's already a star in wrestling, superstar in wrestling, but you got to make him a mega superstar. And when I'm talking about a mega superstar, I'm talking about the Hogans. I'm talking about Steve Austins. I'm talking about the Rocks. I'm talking about Ric Flair. I'm talking about Randy Macho Man Savage, Ultimate Warrior. I'm talking about that rarefied air. Those 6 guys I named right there. The Road Warriors. Let's see, the Steiner brothers. And then you can even go back to some people like Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Ricky Steamboat, those type of guys. Of course, of course, I'll go and say Bret Hart, but Bret Hart wasn't on the level of Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold and Steve Austin and all that, but he was pretty big. Even Shawn Michaels, Diesel had got there. So, but you can put Cody in that same upper echelon, but you could get him in the top 5 range if you book him right, man. And he can get so many people interested in the sport. He really can get them back interested in wrestling. Man, he's a real superstar. He's a real wrestler when it boils down to it. I don't care how many people out there you have, a little small patch of people try to say, oh, he's boring. They want him to turn bad or whatever. But no, that's not the case. All that's going to do is hurt Cody Rhodes. That don't need to happen. All right, Marcus says Mia Yim and B-Fab his wife. Okay. I hear you, man. All right, nice, Cody. Nice. Nice, Cody. Okay, wow. Goodness sake. Goodness sake. Wow. And the last time I watched AEW, guys, last match I watched on AEW was a couple weeks ago. And that was it last week? Not this past Wednesday, Blood and Guts, but the week before. And Claudio Castagnoli was beating. Claudio Castagnoli was beating the living daylights out of Orange Cassidy, or whatever you want to call him, Orange Juice Cassidy or Orange Crush or whatever. But he was beating the living daylights out of him, man. He just beat he beat the Diddy Pop out of that kid, man. He just tried to kill that kid. He destroyed him, man. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, wow. I'm looking at that. I just shook my head. But when I sit there and I was looking at that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, this. Do you have anything else, Tony Khan, for Claudio Castagnoli? Besides, you coming out using the strength, he's just destroying people. Lately, last few weeks, he's just been throwing people around. I mean, taking that little airplane spin, helicopter that he does, and he's taking it to another level. Using a lot of strength with it, just throwing people around. But man, he is the guy. To me, he should be a champion. Should have a valet. Should be the champion of AEW, and should be walking around he should have a valet who knows how to talk, or a manager. First, I'll pick valet first, and then you could have the next big thing there, who is a big deal, and that's Bobby Lashley. You can have a great feud, a great series between him and Bobby Lashley for the title. But Claudio Castagnoli should have had that title. He should have been your main man for at least the last year or so.
My name is Braun Strowman. I've traveled the world wrestling in WWE. It can be a tough job.
Whew.
Look at that big SUV. There's no better way to see a new town than to eat your way through.
Wow, Alma says Orange got both of his hands stapled onto his pants pockets. Brutal match. Oh my God. Mark said, did anyone watch Trash Mike this week? Honestly, it was horrible. Nothing that hasn't been seen since 2019. Same indie garbage. I did not get to see it, Marcus. I know a lot of people are praising it, and a lot of people say it was real good. My man Magnum liked it, but a lot of people say it was really good. And Alma said it was cooking too, I think. But a lot of people, man, I mean, some podcasters that I really respect, said some great things about it. But one thing that I've seen here in the wrestling business since Straight Up Wrestling Show has been doing it since 2021 is anytime if WWE is doing horrible, then anything AEW turns out just about its goal. If AEW is doing horrible, then the WWE is gold. So that's the reason I have to see it for myself, and then I'll judge it from there. Because it's hard for me to take people's word for it. It really is. I can, definitely take all. I definitely can take all people, man, our families' word for it. I definitely, trust in Mag and Alma. Because they both, they ain't gonna beat around the bush. They come on Straight Up Wrestling Show because they like being straight up, and they straight up just like me and Chris, and just like all of us, straight up. So I definitely have to go back and see it and see how it actually came up. I heard they, borrowed from a lot of things that WCW did in the past, or WWE, some of the things. So we'll see. I do know they with that new championship, that independent championship, that right there is a remake. They're using the same belt that was the United States heavyweight championship in the NWA, in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, and the NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. That's basically the same belt. But the thing is, the history of that belt is the WWE belt. That United States title, that's what that belt is. Oh my gosh, I knew it! Man, I knew it. Gosh. This turned out to be a good match, too. Wow. Wow, man. And that's what I want to see, just those two as a tag team, man. Just give us a couple years of just great tag team action with these two brothers, man. Build up a great tag team division to challenge them. I know that Marcus said, Harry is not my cup of tea. Where's the story? As it's just matches after match after match after match after match. I know. That's my thing. Marcus, it's just that's what I don't get with AEW, and that's from the jump. Like I told Chris and our old partner Michael King from the jump, I said they're gonna have problems. Because when first seen it, they were so excited about it and talking about, isn't it good, man? You watching, isn't it good? And I said, look, man, if they don't fix these problems, and it was all about character building and it was about storylines. If they can't get stories behind these matches, it's not going to mean anything. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Man, what in the world's going on? Oh, my gosh, man. Come on. Oh, my gosh, man. Come on. You're going to miss. Oh, gosh. Goodness. Wow, man. Wow. I mean, I can understand they setting up for this War Games. I can understand that. God almighty. But see, my whole thing is they've been setting up for this War Games thing for months now. All year long. This has been going on for about 10 months. Attack out of attack out of attack. So you might as well say they've been setting up for War Games and all this stuff forever. It just... See, it really kills the vibe of what War Games is going to be about when you've been doing this all this time. And now you're trying to put together this thing and say, okay, all these guys are at each other's throats. Wow, man. Wow. That match was heading to a 2.5-star match. With the brawl afterwards, I'm gonna go and give it 2.5 stars. I'm not even gonna, if I have to rate that brawl, I'll give it a thumbs down. But look, I'm just gonna give it 2.5 stars for that last match, and I'm gonna give Smackdown.
I'm in Chicago, Illinois. You compete in a last man standing match. Most importantly, I'm here to
Oh my gosh, Marcus, man, look, I know you big on the Smackdown tonight. You saying a B, which is 4 stars, but I can't give it 4 stars tonight, bro. I just can't do that. All right, Marcus said Harry Tony Khan booked all that just in to be in week 189. I'm not getting a consistent million and losing to a developmental brand again. I got to find out what happened. Do you know the ratings? Because I was trying to look them up before I came on, and they wasn't out yet. I don't think. Christine Saucy Girl said definitely. Christine said the crap doesn't need to happen. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. And man, look, I'm just like I said. Look, I know they can. You can look at this and say, okay, they're setting up for war games, but the thing is, they do it week in and week out. They do it week in and week out. So to me, it's a different way they could have went about this. They could have went about it in a whole different fashion, whole different way, because they have taken away. They have taken away the aura of, the invincibility of certain wrestlers who should have invincible status, because they're attacking them and beating them down all the time. LA Knight seems like a mid-carder. He looked like a C, which I do think, as far as wrestling ability, he's a C+ wrestler, but he looks like a C-level wrestler. He looks like I'm talking about a mid-carder, right in the middle of that mid-card status. That's what he looks like. There's nothing about him looks like a star to me. Jey Uso, you brought him up and everything, and you try to make him look good with all his yeeting thing, but he's getting attacked, he's getting beat down every now and then, and sometimes he's doing the beat down by joining up with CM Punk and all that. He's basically become irrelevant. He's become irrelevant outside of his brother. To tell you the truth, he's like a hired hand. Just put it that way. It seems like to me. All right, and I mean, man, look. Let me talk a little bit about SmackDown last Friday when it was in Greenville. One thing that I was seeing, and one thing that it felt like to me, and Chris could attest to this too, and John Shooter Hargrove. Yeah, man, he did. He does supposed to be suspended. He definitely supposed to be suspended. So I don't know. And Alma says, I hate this every time someone interfering in the main event, thumbs down on an attack, 2 stars, too much for me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I have it. This wouldn't happen if I was the booker straight up, y'all. I'm pretty sure. Alma, you wouldn't go for this mess. Mag says, I thought Drew was suspended. Yep. Marcus said, Magnum storyline suspended, bro. Well, man, that's a storyline I can't go with. They're not giving us storylines. They're giving us chaos. Alma says, I know Mag. He needs to be fired. I hear you, Alma. Christine said, I'm so sick of all the junk. Pretty fed up with it. Yeah. And man, look, WCW, before they went down, they was doing this. This is exactly what they was doing. Exactly what they was doing. NWO was jumping everybody. For the last couple of years, from 99 to 2001, that's all they was doing. And, NWO was jumping everybody. Brought in 2 factions, brought in the Wolfpack faction and everything. And it just continued on and on and on. It just, man, you just took away what wrestling is about. You take away people that should be a star when you do things like this. When you do things like this, you can't filter out who the real stars are. Because that's not what they're not showcasing them. Only what people they really showcasing right now is Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, because CM Punk got the other title. Cody got the Undisputed title and CM Punk got the WWE title. So, the spotlight is on them right now. Marcus said the ratings ain't out yet. It's obvious they gonna lose again. Yeah, I want to see, but, they don't have the hour by hour anymore. I would love to see what their hour ratings was, their ratings for the first, second, and third, fourth quarter. I would love to see that. Mag says, Alma. Mag says it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. It doesn't need to be that way. Doesn't need to be that way. I don't know what in the world they thinking. I don't know what in the world they go back there thinking. I don't know if Triple H goes back and say, man, wow, if we don't continue to have something, we don't continue to stick something in their face, these people are not going to like it. They're not going to like it. We can't let these guys win and walk out of the ring. We can't depend on that match that we just had to keep the fans' interest. And they're not really going to think this guy's a star. He's good enough if we don't have somebody attack him. Just every time, man. Just every time, it's just a big beatdown. Yep, Christine, the thing is so unnecessary. Yep. Mag says it's just crazy. All right, well, my man Ray says it also caused real injuries to the wrestlers. Yeah, exactly. I tell you, when they threw what's the name out earlier today, when they had the females in there and they threw Kari Sane over the ropes, Rita and Io and all that, and when they threw her out, man, and she landed back and she kicked Raquel in the head when she flipping back that way. And it popped in the head. I hope Raquel is okay. But I saw that. I'm just like, wow. I'm like, wow, man. You know, that's what happens when you, just constant chaos over and over. And it's for no reason. It's basically for no reason. But yeah, let me go back all the way to Monday Night Raw in May. I think it was May 5th they came to Greenville. Monday Night Raw came to Greenville. And what I saw then, and this is right when they started doing all the advertisements in the ring. I think a week or two before that, they put all the advertisements in the ring, and that's when they started really changing. But what I saw in Greenville that night was it seemed like gladiators, that show that used to come on after wrestling or before wrestling. I think it was after wrestling. Gladiators. That's what it seemed like to me. The techno stuff was just kind of different, and it did not seem like a wrestling card. And for some reason, I'm sitting there, I'm like uncomfortable. Me and Chris up there watching it, and Chris talking to me. I said, man, this right here seemed like they're trying to sell us something. Outside of wrestling, they're trying to sell us something. And Friday night in Greenville, that's exactly what it seemed. It seemed like WWE is trying to sell us a product. I'm not going to say WWE. TKO Holdings is trying to sell us a product outside of wrestling, and wrestling comes last. It's not like back in the old days, guys. The wrestler used to make the company. Hulk Hogan made WWF. Hulk Hogan, there was no WWF. It was a WWF, but WWF was the name behind the man. Pretty that way. Randy Savage was a strong wrestler, somebody that was very famous, but he worked for the WWF. Ric Flair was the champion of the NWA and WCW. Ric Flair, Sting, Nikita Koloff, those guys were the representative. Those are the people we thought about. When we thought about wrestling back in the day, we thought about the wrestler before we thought about the company that they wrestled for. We did. We thought of Hulk Hogan. We thought about Kevin Von Erich, or Kerry Von Erich, or David Von Erich. Before we thought about a world-class championship wrestling. We thought about Ric Flair before we thought about Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. We thought about Mr. Wrestling 2, Tommy Rich and Tony Atlas before we thought about Georgia Championship Wrestling. Those was just the names on the marquee that these guys wrestled for. When we look at NFL football, we look at basketball, the National Basketball Association, the NBA. When we look at the NFL, we think about the teams. Who are your favorite teams? Or we think about the teams. How's Pittsburgh going to be this year? How's the Dallas Cowboys going to be this year? Are they going to suck again under Jerry Jones? How the Minnesota Vikings are looking this year? How the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking this year? How the Green Bay Packers looking this year? How the Kansas City Chiefs? That's what we think about first, and then we think about NFL. NFL is what's behind these guys. Same thing in the NBA. How the Los Angeles Lakers doing this year? How the Boston Celtics are doing this year? How the Minnesota Timberwolves are doing this year? How the Denver Nuggets are looking this year? How the Golden State Warriors are looking this year? Then we think about the NBA logo behind that, and Jerry West, the logo of the NBA. We think about that. That's secondary. After the NBA is the teams, and the teams and the players on those teams are stars. Same thing. That's the same way it was in wrestling. But now TKO and have put themselves out in the forefront, along with WWE, TKO Holdings, WWE was TKO Holdings, TKO Holdings, Paul Levesque, then WWE, and then the rest of those cronies around, and then the wrestlers coming in last. They're not focused on the wrestler. And that's what I was seeing Friday night when we was there. I said, Chris, I feel like they're trying to sell us something. All these products that they are advertising, it's like TKO is just like I said, when they first came in, I said, and Chris was saying this at the podcast, not on the podcast, but Chris was saying this at the show. He said, Harry, he said, all I can think back to is when they first came in and bought into this. You said TKO is a holding company. And holding companies, what they do is they build up companies and they sell them off, or they sell something. And he said, that's all I can think of. But all I can think of, I said, Chris, they are trying to sell us a product. What are they trying to sell us? I don't know if they're trying to sell us Prime. They're trying to sell us Slim Jim that they have in the ring. They're trying to sell us Crown Royal. They are trying to sell us products, guys. Of course, they're selling WWE merchandise, but they're trying to sell us products, trying to get people sign up with Morgan and Morgan as the lawyers. They are trying to sell us products. The wrestling comes last with WWE. And that's what I'm seeing. All right, my man. Oh, yeah. Andre the Giant, Big John Studd. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jake the Snake Roberts, Ravishing Rick Rude. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. All big names, all big stars in wrestling. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. And that's the feel that I get. That's the feel that I get when I'm sitting there watching it, when we was watching it live, when we was there live. I said, man, this just don't. And that vibe in Greenville, I'd never seen Greenville like that, except for Thunder, WCW Thunder. When they did that first WCW Thunder came to Greenville, I was like, wow, man. It seemed like it was the same type of vibe. But what was worse was, like I said, was the constant commercialization inside of the arena. It was horrible. It was horrible. And it was hard for the crowd to get into it because of that. Because, anytime they go to commercial, it stops and the wrestler stay in the ring for 4 minutes before they come back out, from that commercial. Those commercials were long. And I'm like, wow, man, wow. And it just did not have that. And it took an hour for the whole show to kick in. The second hour it kicked in. And the last two matches that they had on the show was better, was pretty good. They did have a run over and had two matches after the show went off air, which was pretty good. But man, it was just, I just shook my head, and it had me coming up with all kind of thoughts. And I started talking to people around me and talking to Chris and talking to John Shooter Hargrove. And, they all like what I had to say. All right, Mark says, Harry, I'm about to sign off. After that short match, Smackdown was a 7 out of 10 stars overall. Okay. All right. Marcus, yeah. So basically, you done dropped it down to 3.5 stars. I have anywhere from a 3 to 3.5 stars. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 stars, and that's a C plus. But definitely, I can roll with a C plus, but barely. They almost lost it right there at the end. They almost lost that C plus ranking. But I appreciate everybody on here with me, guys. I want you guys to stay on because I'm going to go over the matches. I'm going to go over what happened Friday night in Greenville and my thoughts, and I'm going to go over Monday Night Raw. And like I said, it was people out here saying Monday Night Raw was really good. They said John Cena saved it. I really wanted to give my take on it. I thought, and give my thoughts on it. So I'm definitely going to run that down. But basically, let me get into this, which I was going to do something separate on it. But man, yes, I started talking about, what I would do and what the WWE what I think they should do if they want to continue to run it this way. If they have heavy advertisement, and I know they have the heavy advertisements right now, they have a deal going with these advertisement companies. And so I said, look, I said, they're going to continue to run like this to where they are holding to a lot of advertisers and things like that, then they need to run Saturday night shows. They need to run a Saturday night show and a Saturday morning show. They need to go back into syndication. Keep Monday Night Raw on your USA. I mean, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and keep, your Smackdown on USA. Definitely go ahead and keep those shows. But they need to go ahead and have a Saturday morning show running in syndication. That's where you're on different stations around the country. And then have a Saturday night show. Not Saturday night main event. You definitely don't have to have that, but just have, come up with a different name. Have a Saturday night show, and maybe do it on Sunday too. But you got enough personnel. Pull people from that doggone catering and put them on TV. You're going to get a lot more play from people. And you have to go back to having the house shows. Because if you go back to having the house shows, then you will make money. Because you go back to the house shows, then you can have more than 5 flipping matches, what they're doing on Monday Night Raw and doing on SmackDown. You having 5 shows, you can run 10 matches if you go back to having house shows. Give it 3 or 4 days. And I know a lot of wrestlers will be mad because they have to work more. But hey, you just tell them, hey, this is the way the business is running, this is the way we are going, and this is what we have to do to make money. If you guys want to make money and continue to get paid those big time paychecks, this is what we got to do, and we will give bonuses on that. But you got to need to go back to the house shows and get those house shows hot. But you run those house shows, and you can do your advertisement. You can do a lot of your sales there as far as selling your merchandise and everything like that. And then your big shows, you can run your commercials, but you can cut the commercialization in half. And that way you can have at least 8 matches. Go back to at least having 8 matches max. 8 matches on SmackDown. You need at least 8 at minimum. I'm going to take it back from 7. You need to have 8 at minimum on SmackDown and Raw. You got to have that because those shows are big players. They are big. They are, they're asking for big money. So you're asking people for big money. Every single show should be a spectacular. If for those who was watching Monday Nitro, when Monday Night Nitro first started, the first year of Nitro, the first year and a half, the first that when he beat for 84 weeks, beat WWE, man, Nitro was on fire. Every Monday night it was on fire, something different. I mean, great storylines. It was on fire, and that's what it needs to be. It needs to be that good, or it needs to go be as good as every Clash of the Champions. Every single Monday night, every Friday night, you don't need to be cutting no slack. Those shows need to be great. If you're going to do this and you're going to charge people out the yayo for these tickets, it needs to be great. It needs to be a spectacular. It needs to be a spectacular. And you cut down. And if you're going to do that, then you cut down to 4 PLEs a year. You cut down to 4, 5 at the most. You cut it down to where you don't have so many. But you making your money. You're making your money up on the house shows. You're making your money up on Saturday night, on Saturday main event, Saturday nights. I mean, having a Saturday morning show, Saturday night, and maybe a Sunday evening show. And on Sunday, you can just show highlights or whatever. You can show what's happening, and you can have wrestlers come on there and talk, just like they did back in the day when somebody doing a promo, having a back room promo. You can do that. So, but yeah, they need to change this whole thing up, man. If you really want it to work, that's what they need to do. All right, let's see. My man Marcus says, Harry, I'm about to sign off. Okay, we got that. What's up, Richard Hood? What's going on? My man Max says, I have a feeling house shows are going to be for only independent wrestlers. Yep, WWE is going where the money is, and that's crowds and TV advertisements. Yeah, and exactly. And there's no doubt about that. I agree with you, Mag. They are doing that. But yeah, to me, it's a mistake, and it's what's going to kill off wrestling. It really is. They are headed that way, and everybody sees that. They definitely are headed that way. Greed, that's something that's always taking out any company. Somebody come in that think they know what they're doing. They greedy and everything, and they come in and they just destroy a good thing. And you got Shapiro, like I said, Shapiro, and you have Shapiro, Ari Daivari, and TKO Holdings as a whole. These guys don't know what they're doing. They don't, and they talk about they looking to maximize profits. And that's what Vince McMahon wasn't doing. They're looking to maximize profits. Right now, Vince McMahon, if he can get his stuff straight, he can get all this stuff, if he can get it behind him, man, right now, if he wanted to come and take over wrestling, he could do it. He definitely could do it. I think a lot of people could do it. If you get somebody, but you have to have somebody with a competent mind, somebody who understands wrestling. And when I'm talking about understanding wrestling, you got to be a person who understands wrestling, and you have to have a young mind to where you understand wrestling. And I'm talking about the way it's supposed to be done all the way up to the day. And I'm talking about a person maybe in their 50s and 60s, somebody like a Jim Cornette. He understands wrestling, but do I think Jim Cornette can run this thing today? No, I do not. Dutch Mantell understands wrestling, but do I think Dutch Mantell can run this thing? No, I do not. And the reason I'm saying that, because Jim Cornette, he had Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which was pretty good, but it was missing something. I mean, and I know he had a hard time keeping stars and things like that. So he's looking at that as an excuse. But one thing that he did not do, he did not build stars. Jim Cornette, he had stars who became stars in other promotions and things like that. And he knew how to team them up with somebody else who was a star or doing something like that. He definitely knew the right position to put him in, but he did not know how to build stars. And that's one thing that Jimmy Crockett was very good at. Jim Crockett built stars over in the Mid-Atlantic. That's the reason why Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling was so great. He knew how to build stars. Georgia Championship Wrestling had a run of greatness because they knew how to build stars. You got to, Mid-South knew how to build stars. You got to know how to build a star. And that's one thing, as great as Jim Cornette is, Jim Cornette, to me, did not know how to build a star. He never built a star. He didn't build stars over there in Smoky Mountain, and that's what they lacked. So I don't think he could do it. Dutch Mantell, I don't think could do it, because Dutch Mantell is somebody who has to come in and on an established group, and he can line it up right, but he does not know how to build a star either. Do there need to be stars built up in WWE? No, not really. They already got the star power, but you got to build up young stars coming up, but they got all the star power that they need. And people always talk about, back in the day, the bigger than life stars. They got bigger than life stars, guys. They really do. They really do. But they got to be presented that way. And the only way you can present it that way to a real crowd is having real storylines. And I'm talking about storylines that's unbelievable, tasks that seem impossible. I mean, because when it boils down to it, doesn't matter if a guy is really big or huge. I don't care if you are John Studd. But you know what made John Studd big over when he was in the Mid-Atlantic? John Studd was in a feud with Ricky Steamboat. And Ricky Steamboat is a small guy compared to John Studd. You know, Ricky Steamboat was very muscular at that time. That's when he was bodybuilding. But his first real feud, was against Blackjack Mulligan over there in Mid-Atlantic. And he was up there against Blackjack Mulligan. But Ricky Steamboat, outside of Ric Flair, nobody thought anybody could handle Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat was killing people when he first came to Mid-Atlantic in 1977. 1977, 1978, he was just unstoppable. John Studd came on the scene, and when he was done with Blackjack Mulligan, which he pretty much won the first round of that feud and hurt Blackjack Mulligan, he ended up with a feud with Ricky Steamboat. Everybody thought Steamboat was going to kill this Giant, man. Or the Giant, some people say, oh, no, there's no way the Giant's going to kill him. But it seemed like that big Giant, John Studd, was going up against an impossible task against this martial art master that was just fast and exciting in the ring and just beating down everybody. So, and Ricky Steamboat was going up against this monster, man, this Goliath, and which made him great, like I say. And, both of those guys were being built stars. Ricky Steamboat, very young star. John Studd was too. And they was being built as a star. When Greg the Hammer Valentine came on the scene, after his father was in the plane crash, he was being built up, man, and he teaming up with Ric Flair. And him and Ric Flair, outside of those Anderson brothers and Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, Ric Flair and Greg Valentine probably the best tag team that I ever seen. But they didn't stay together long because Jim Crockett wanted Ric Flair as a singles guy. He wanted him. He had those aspirations for him as a singles guy, a big time singles guy. He wanted him to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and he had big aspirations for Greg the Hammer Valentine too. But man, they was an excellent tag team. They used to destroy the Anderson brothers. And I love the Anderson brothers, man. I didn't love the Anderson brothers. I just thought nobody could really deal with that tag team outside of when Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Paul Jones. That's those guys teamed up with him. They handled them, but Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Paul Jones are once again singles guys that, Jim Crockett said, no, I want these guys to be single. All right. Richard says, Harry, at one time, Monday Nitro ratings were higher than Monday Night Football. Yes, yeah, they were. Yes, they were. Back in, 98, 97? 97? Yeah, 97, 98. Sure was. Yeah, I remember that. Everybody, that right there, people was tripping, man. Matt says, Harry, the wrestling we know is never coming back, just like football has gotten soft. Shaking my head. That's exactly right, Matt. Exactly right. And I listen to people like Chrissy, like Harry, they ain't never coming back. They ain't never coming back. And people love it when I run shows, man. When I book a show, when I book independent shows and things, and people just go crazy. And and there's no bragging or whatever. And then everybody asks me, did you put together these matches? I say, yes. I understand the art of wrestling, what it's about. Even the young people put down things. They don't look at their phones or whatever. Everybody's looking at the wrestling. It's exciting from the beginning to end. Because I'm putting people, anytime I bring wrestling, I look at, and I have these young guys. I have a lot of young guys. I have some old veterans in there. But, man, it's not that it can't come back. It's not the wrestler's fault. It's not the wrestler's fault. It's people that's running it. It's Triple H. And, hey, Tony Khan might have his hand on the button a little bit. I think he gets it a little bit because his pay-per-views, he's very close on his pay-per-views. Now, if you really look at his pay-per-views, he's very close to what they was doing as far as the NWA and AWA, things that they was doing. He's very close to that, but he goes overboard. It's an overproduction. He overproduces. That's the bad thing about Tony Khan. He overproduces, and he think it has to be something crazy added into it, which screws up the whole thing. And so you already have a preconceived notion that this stuff is going to happen that's going to mess everything up, and it actually does happen. And when people come in that heard all these great things about AEW, and then they see it and they look at you and they'll just tell you, look, I'm not watching that again. It's flat crazy, man. All right, Richard Hood says, Harry, do you think Jeff Jarrett can run a wrestling company? No. He's proven that he can. All right, Lucas, no. I'm not bringing you on right now, buddy. I think that's you. All right. All right. Randy said, Ray says, agree with you, Magnum, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely not coming back. I agree with Mag on that. But, hey, there's always hope. It's always hope. But if it don't come back, guys, I hate to say it. I don't think all I can see is the ratings. Like Marcus said, or who said that? Ray said, or one of the, Ray, or maybe it was Mag. I think it's Marcus or Ray. But yeah, the ratings are going, ratings going soft, man. That's all that is to it. It's going to continue to happen that way. And AEW, they haven't came out with their new ratings for this show right here. It may go over 500, but they've been under 500 for a few weeks now. Everything done went soft, and you done had Smackdown drop under 1 million. They never been under 1 million. Last Friday, dropped under 1 million, but I think this Friday they picked back up. I knew they would with the Greenville show. I knew they would. I said, okay, you could feel that, and I could tell by what was going on TV. I said, okay, on TV, this is going to look pretty good. It's going to go up. Greenville has more enthusiasm than most cities, but for the most part, Greenville's very enthusiastic about wrestling, always have been. But I said it's going to go up for the Greenville show. So, but we'll see. Will it go up tonight? I believe it's probably going to get 1 million. I think it's going to get 1 million. I don't think it's going to have that 1.14 that they had this past week after the Greenville show. I don't think they're going to have that because, man, it just. I think they was losing audience So it wasn't a bad show tonight, but I do think some of the crowd, probably some of the people that was watching at home, just like, wow, it's the same old, same old. They're doing the same thing, even though it looked like Triple H trying to stay away from it. But I think they are so ingrained in this chaotic culture, they can't get away from it. It's outrageous. I'm going to have to say goodnight, family. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good night, all. You too, Christine. Have a good night. Ray says good night, Saucy Girl. All right. And my Mag says good night, Saucy Mama. And Mag says thank you, Ray. But yeah, I don't think they can get rid of it. I really don't. I think this stuff is going to go on and on and on and on. And wrestling is going to take a fall. I don't see AEW. I don't care how many blood and guts and whatever blood, guts, glory, whatever they have. I don't care. And then have these pay-per-views. I don't care because they're going back to the same thing. They're going back to the same thing. Because what Tony has to realize, Tony has to do that every week. What he just did this past Wednesday night, he has to do that every single week. Every single week. WWE Monday Night Raw was okay. Wasn't as good as everybody was saying it is. It was okay, but I can stomach it. But man, Monday night, like I said, they got to go back to the Rock Stone Cold days. They need to, and I ain't talking about having, women being body slammed or whatever, smacked in the ring, being called bees and hoes and all. Not that. But the greatness of the wrestling when they had to wrestle, because they had to wrestle to make that comeback against WWE. Against WCW. They did. They had to wrestle. Some of them shows was great wrestling shows. They got to go back to that. They got to give the spectacular week in and week out if they're going to bring this thing out of the gutter, man. Because I'm telling you, it's in the gutter, and all you have is wrestling fans. That's the bottom line. All you have is wrestling fans watching this. Certain wrestling fans. That's all that's watching wrestling. And that's not healthy, guys. As much as some of us may want to think that, hey, us as a wrestling community, we can hold this thing up. No. The salaries are way too big. Way too big. And it's not enough people to, you can't sustain it. You cannot sustain it. They will not be able to do that. Man, and yeah, it's just no way possible. Unless you want to have unless you're going to have billionaires over there in TKO Holdings that's going to hold this thing up and say, okay, we're going to continue to put our money behind this, even though we're losing money, because that's what's going to be happening. I say within 2 years, WCW is going to be losing. WCW, WWE is going to be losing tons of money. They keep it up. But hey, it's a holding company, TKO Holdings. They'll sell it before they do that. They definitely will sell it. And man, Saudi Arabia is already wanting to, they already interested. They definitely interested in this thing, man. But yeah, Tony Khan just continued to put his money behind it. He reminds me of the guy who's the CEO for Sears. The guy who's the CEO for Sears and own Sears and Kmart, and he just kept putting his money into it all the way to the end. Just kept putting money behind it, kept on putting stock behind it, and he just kept hemorrhaging money just to try to keep it going. And that's what happening with TKO Holdings, but over at AEW. And the thing is this: Tony don't have to worry about it. It's his dad's money, man. It's his dad's money. It's not his money. So he's going to continue to spend. His dad gave him an open checkbook, kind of like Eric Bischoff had with Ted Turner's checkbook. Just had an open checkbook, just spend. He didn't care. And man, the thing about Eric Bischoff, he's still falling back on that same old. That same old. And I'm getting so sick of it. Bischoff, it was the executives. It was the TV executives at WTBS. They hated wrestling. They wanted to get rid of wrestling. No, they wanted to get rid of it because they did not like you, and they refused to sell it to you and your partners because they hated Eric Bischoff that much. Eric Bischoff was brash. He was arrogant. Man. But guys, man, I just, wow, like I said, man, once again, let me go ahead and go back to last Friday night in Greenville, South Carolina, the November the 7th show. Go back to that. And I'm going to talk about that real quick, guys. I'm going to go over that. And I'm going to continue to talk a little bit. Some other things might pop up in my head. but I'm gonna continue to talk. Hey, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you, and hopefully you stay here. But hey, maybe I'll make it to 11 o'clock or maybe 10:45, 10:50 or whatever. I'll make it probably another 15, 20 minutes before I get off, man. But I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna talk a little bit more with you guys, man. But hey, wrestling right now, it is in a bad state. And what do we think? What do you guys think are going to happen if Shapiro gets his way and Ari Daivari and all those guys, TKO Holdings, decide to change some of these things that Vince McMahon built up that made WWE so great over the years? What if he comes in and say, we don't want Money in the Bank no more? We're going to change that. We don't want the Royal Rumble no more. We're going to change that. No more SummerSlam. We're going to change that. Because he's already talking about doing another WrestlePalooza. Said, oh, we did that, and that was great. That was successful. That was a creation of Triple H and TKO Holdings and WWE. That's what he says. But WrestlePalooza was an old ECW pay-per-view, which I remember everybody was laughing about that years ago. It was an old ECW pay-per-view. So they have a little thing with that. Maybe, I don't know, Paul Heyman came up with it or whatever, told him to go ahead and use that. But yeah, that's what WrestlePalooza came from. But yeah, they figuring they're going to come up with some different names. Now, if they take WrestleMania away, that's going to be very strange. It's kind of like them, as far as Starrcade, they put that on the back burner. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what direction wrestling is going. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it very sharply. And like I say, I want to keep a keen eye on it. And man, and I'm going to tell you like this, 100%. Outside of the World Wrestling Entertainment, outside of WWE, no wrestling company out there is making money. None. AEW is not making money. These indies, you may have a couple indies may be profitable. But for the most part, I guarantee you 97, 98% of the indies in the world or in wrestling are losing money. They're losing money. Me and Chris been to over 30 of them. Every single one of them losing money. Straight up. Outside of the WWE, nobody's making money no more, man. And TNA, that's the reason why they don't partner with them. TNA, they're getting subsidized, just like the WNBA and, getting subsidized from the NBA. TNA been losing money for years. That's why they keep switching things. And TNA, the wrestling, not wrestling company, but that TV company in Canada, that's what backs them and put money into their coffers, man. Just enough for it to run and survive on that station. That's the only thing keeping them up. They're not making no money. NWA Power, they're not making money. Billy Corgan is operating. He's probably operating on an even till and mostly losing money. But he has this love for wrestling, just like so many wrestling fans out here has such a love for wrestling. You got a lot of independent promoters out here who should not be nowhere near promoting a wrestling show. A lot of these guys they living in their parents' basements. They own food stamps and everything like that. Not saying there's something bad about being on food stamps, but being on food stamps and out there trying to pay 20 wrestlers $20-$40 or whatever a show or even more. When you only getting 180 people not even 180 people, that's a good show. You're getting 40, 50, 60 people in the building, and you're hoping to sell some hot dogs and hamburgers to make up for that. Man, it's crazy. But I'm telling you right now, WWE, the only one making money off of this. And they are grabbing right now. It's a money grab. Get everything they can out of the wrestling fan. Till they break you. And after a while, they will break you. When you have a company, you have somebody coming after you 100%, something that you loved, something that you really got into, and they drag it down to where it's just bone dry. But you have people around you, a community of people that love the sport that continue to say, man, let's go, even though you really don't want to go no more. You really don't want to look at it no more, but they're telling you to do that, and then it just takes everything out of you. You're just like, Why in the world am I doing this? Why in the world am I going to pay for this, going here and spend a whole bunch of money at this show? Do I really want to do that? Do I really love it like that anymore? Do I really want to see this? Walking away, hey, man, I got ripped off. Or my time got wasted or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, and see, I'm telling you like this. They continue to lose fans. The ratings continue to go down. And for the last 2 years, number of wrestling fans are watching this. Wrestling fans are watching this. They're losing wrestling fans. They're losing their last segment of people that they have. And what you're going to have after that? Nothing. Basically nothing. And see, the thing with the NFL, the National Football League, there's people watching that's not even NFL. That's not National Football League fans. I'm talking millions of fans. There's millions of people, casuals, watching that's not fans. They watching it because their boyfriends, their husbands watching it, their friends are watching it, and they're watching along with them. In front of TVs, or they watching the shows because they can go back and talk about it at the office, talking about it at the job. Yeah, I saw that or whatever. But they are still getting supported like that. The NFL. And you even have boxing. A lot of boxing. A lot of people go out there casually and go watch a big time boxing match because everybody else is watching it. But wrestling don't have that no more. Nobody's watching it like that. Wrestling used to have especially back in the days of Stone Cold Steve Austin and the NWO and Goldberg and Rock. Yeah, so many people watching just because everybody else was watching. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it was the hottest ticket in town. And it wasn't a very expensive ticket. Wasn't a very expensive ticket. All right, guys. Wow, man. I'm just rambling on. All right, guys. But hey, man. Yeah, on the 7th, last Friday night. Okay, and like I said, I'm just gonna basically be talking about, like I said, the feelings that I had when I was at Greenville. I mean, not the Greenville Auditorium, but Greenville Bond Secure Wellness Arena. The open segment I thought was good. Cody Rhodes promo and face off with Aleister Black was good. I gave it a thumbs up. Me and Chris both gave it a thumbs up. Then we had Tommaso Ciampa rant before the match gets a thumbs up. Then we had Johnny Gargano versus Ilya Dragunov. They got 3 stars. I think, Ilya Dragunov went ahead and won that. Then we had Jade Cargill came out there. She got in the ring, had a short segment. We gave it a thumbs up last Friday night in Greenville. And that was great. How Jade came in there, didn't say many things. She did exactly what she did in AEW. It got the crowd over, and that's exactly how Jade should be. Don't go out there, do a lot of talking. You're not a great talker, but the few words that you say, when your sentences are short, you got a few lines that you say, it's very impactful. Go out there and do it, and it makes you look like a star. Continue to do that. Just like a match, it shouldn't be long either. If you want to make, and it's very important that they make Jade Cargill a star, a huge star. She looks it. She looks the part, 100%. And they definitely, like I said, right now, man, the WWE wrestling is starving for stars. You got to have stars. They have the stars, but they're not presenting them as stars. All right, and Charlotte Flair is still a star. People went crazy for her tonight, and they went crazy for her tonight before all this stuff happened, that she went ahead and told Alexis that she could not do this. She could not be involved with Rhea Ripley and everything. She don't trust her. But yeah, in Greenville, man, people just went crazy for her. She definitely still a star, big time star. Word up, man. Word up. No ins, ands, or buts about that. All right, let's see. All right, Chelsea Green, B-Fab, and Jade Cargill backstage confrontation gets a thumbs up. Barely, almost a fail with B-Fab. So that right there, we gave that a thumbs up. B-Fab was coming in. She was talking about that she got into that argument with Jade Cargill, and it led to this match tonight. It was a big fail, guys, but we went ahead and gave it a thumbs up, but that almost killed everything. And when that was happening, I'm like, why in the world are they putting her in the match with B-Fab? Now, I think it's a good. I think it was good tonight because B-Fab really didn't get anything off, and that's the way it should be. But if B-Fab would have competed with Jade Cargill, that wouldn't have looked good. So I do give them a thumbs up, and I give them a thumbs up tonight because they ran it the right way. All right, we had Charlotte Flair next versus Nia Jax. We gave that 3 stars with the interference of that guy, that dude, Lash Legend, came in because Charlotte was wrestling Nia Jax, and you had Nia Jax, who she had. Who did she have outside of the ring? She didn't have nobody at first, and you had Charlotte being laid out with Alexa Bliss, and Alexa got attacked by the dude, man, Lash Legend, and we know what Lash came in and did tonight. So we know Lash is with Nia Jax. Those two are twosome, and you know, hey, if they get their hands on the titles, nobody gonna take those off them women, man. Not for a long time, unless some kind of crazy booking leads to that. We know that. Nick Aldi's segment was crazy, talking about holding the LA Knight competitor in his hand. Miz versus Jey Uso was the other name. Okay, Chelsea Green defeated Julia that night, and Chelsea won she won that title. I guess it was the United States Women's title, or was it the Intercontinental? I think it was the U.S. title, but Chelsea Green defeated Julia. We gave that 2 stars. That was great. Chelsea Green, man, got a roaring ovation in Greenville. So, man, I know she's a star. Love Chelsea Green, man. I love what they're doing with her and everything like that. Big ups to Chelsea Green, and, man, may her star continue to rise. And that's somebody that they should continue to keep an eye on and continue to build. MFT's backroom segment with the arrival of the Y6 gets a thumbs up. And why wasn't a Y6 there tonight? I just don't understand that. Man, that's something. As far as the Y6, it's still a mystery behind those guys. You need to continue to show them and continue to help them out. And you don't have to continue. If you continue to pretty much showcase them on the set, showcase them on Smackdown, you do not have to continue to do it mysteriously, in a mysterious way. These guys should be mysterious without you trying to make it mysterious, like it coming out in some kind of movie set or whatever. They should be mysterious and scary, kind of like in that Missy Link realm, Mad Dog Fashawn realm, Abdullah the Butcher. Be scary by just their appearance, not coming out, and scaring somebody by jumping up, coming out of nowhere or whatever. You don't have to do that with them, week in and week out. We already know, we already get it, what you guys are doing. But hey, you need to find a way to make them a scary presence without the surprise element. All right, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss backstage health room segment gets a thumbs up because of the surprise attack by Asuka and Kairi Sane. That was shocking, guys. When Asuka and Kairi Sane hit them with that miss, that was shocking. And guys, we know what that led to. We see that Charlotte and Alexa, they lost the titles on Monday Night Raw. So, hey, I did not like that at all. That Asuka and Kairi Sane won the titles. I wanted Charlotte and Alexa Bliss to continue to hold those belts. I thought it was very important for them to hold the belts for a long time, man. Give them a 10-month reign. Give them a year's reign. Or maybe 14, 15, 16, 14 months, and then let Charlotte go back and do her singles thing. And that way, you won't have Charlotte continuing on to be in this singles competition and being selfish and people getting tired of her or whatever. But, man, you could have gave her a great singles run. I mean, a tag team run. You could have gave her a great tag team run with Alexa. Would have been outstanding, but, hey, they dropped the ball on that, in my opinion. Then we had Rey Fenix versus that tall guy, Tala Tonga. We gave that 3 stars. Man, that just was – big ups to Rey Fenix. He fought back. He fought back real hard. That Tala Tonga just a monster, man. That just was flat out crazy. Miz promo, we gave the thumbs up. Miz, man, could cut great promos. A superstar. If you want him to be a superstar, he could do so many things. And you can have Miz could be still, you could put him as a wrestler, make Miz this wrestler that's still a top-notch wrestler, but make him a valet type dude, manager, valet type dude, and a super valet manager type dude who can get involved and wrestle when he needs to be. But when he's not, when he's in that role, he doesn't wrestle at all. But he knows how to handle business and things like that. But, man, you can do something super with you can do super things with the Miz. They really can. but they got to put forth the effort to do that. So these are the things that I'm looking, every time somebody come out and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about what they can do with these people to make a certain people, to get them over and make them better in the business for us, the consumers. But like I said, the wrestlers was coming last. As hard as these guys was trying, as hard as these wrestlers was out there giving promos and trying to get over with the fans and trying to keep themselves in the public eye, it seemed like the WWE, it seemed like TKO had such a huge shadow over that, like I said, it just seemed like you going into a brick and mortar. You going into a store, a mall. You going into Walmart, and they trying to sell you everything around that. That's the way it seemed. Not the wrestlers. And it was crazy. All right, then we had Cody Rhodes in that last match versus Aleister Black. We gave that 2.5 stars before the attack, guys. The attack pretty much was okay. I know that attack was the setup, like I say, setting up for War Games. It was okay, but we gave it 2.5 stars. They really didn't need that, but I understood that night. I said, I hope they don't. I said, since they did this tonight, hopefully they don't do that on Monday Night Raw, which they went ahead and did anyway. And the Veterans Day observance, we gave that a thumbs up, straight up. All right, man. So that was last Friday night, guys, in Greenville, South Carolina, my hometown. And like I said, I felt that they was trying to sell. They was basically trying to sell us something, instead of wrestling. And the R that was in that arena, I'm like, this has to be happening all around the country. And I know it turned some people off. You had some people. That's the first time I've seen people walk out of a WWE show. I saw several people walking out, three matches before the main event. I never seen that happen at a WWE show in Greenville. Never. Not in Bond Secure. Maybe in the old auditorium when they tried to come when Jim Crockett was ruling the day, because they did come here a couple times back then, and they had to go to Furman University because of Greenville Memorial Auditorium. They couldn't get in there at first. But you might have had people turning away then. But now, I mean, since we've been going back, since we've been going to SmackDown and Raw, no, nobody's turned away and up and leave. Not in droves. But I saw a good bit of people get up and just leave. Few before last match. Okay, well, we see what we're gonna get. It's okay. It's not great, but man, you got to be great. You got to be Ringling and Barnum and Baylor's Circus or whatever that was. You got to be the circus. You got to be great. You got to be fair. You got to be outstanding every time you come to one of these arena shows. When you go into one of these big shows. In the house shows, like I say, in the house shows, you can bring the house shows. You're not going to have all that commercialization and everything like that. You just roll and have matches. And you use your Saturday show, the Saturday show that I'm talking about, your Saturday morning and Saturday evening show, and maybe one on Saturday afternoon. Those are the shows. You use those shows to build up storylines. And then you already got storylines for SmackDown, you got storylines for Raw, and you got storylines going into the house shows. And house shows are running the same storylines, a few weeks in a row. They just run it, back to back, every place they go. And everybody perfecting their artistry out there. Or what they can do in and out of the ring. All right, guys. But I appreciate everybody still sticking with us, guys. You're still sticking with us, man. If you are not part of the Straight Up Wrestling Show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. But whatever platform you're on, hit that like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. So you know when we're on, like times like these over on Facebook, do the same thing, man. Join on Facebook. And, man, if you over on Twitch, man, I want you to doggone tweet and retweet, man, and join us over there. And, man, everywhere. Over on, X, formerly known as Twitter, and like I said, and over on, what was the other one? Can't think of it right now, but it's okay. But, guys, let me go ahead and try to get Monday Night Raw out real quick. Just going to pretty much give you the results and what I was thinking. I need to get something in me. All right. Okay, Monday Night Raw, man. We had John Cena segment with Triple H. I gave that a thumbs up, guys. Even with the joining of Dominic Mysterio. Then Cena versus Mysterio. I only gave that 2 stars, guys. And like I say, with 2 stars, I thought it was a decent match, but it was a very quick match. And some of it was cut off by commercialization, but I only gave that 2 stars. But big ups to John Cena, man. And he, he's got held all the titles in WWE. So congratulations to him now. The Veteran Day observance gave that a thumbs up. Rusev defeated Damian Priest in the last match tourney to face John Cena. That was a pretty good match. I did not put a rating down here, but I'm thinking back to it. I give it 3 stars. That was a very good match. Rusev defeating Damian Priest, and Damian Priest's eyes was all messed up, so I can see why he lost. But, man, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking about Damian Priest. Damian Priest over the last 4 years that we've been doing the Straight Up Wrestling show, I say the last 2 years, when he basically got with Judgment Day, and right before he got with Judgment Day, and right after Judgment Day, he rose to top tier status of one of the top 6 wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. What's the name? Damian Priest, one of the top 6 wrestlers in the business. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. Because at one time I think, hey, this guy right here shouldn't be carrying your world championship. He shouldn't be carrying the world title. But I can see somebody as big as him, and he will be believable. He's one of these guys that you can present to anybody in the world and say, this is our world champion. This is the world wrestling champion. They're going to believe that. Damian Priest has all of that about him. And Damian don't need to be losing on Monday Night Raw. Maybe at a house show, but not on Monday Night Raw, not on Smackdown or anything like that. Damian Priest is a certified superstar. And not saying Rusev is not worthy, because he definitely is. But is he better than John Cena? I mean, not John Cena, Damian Priest right now? No. Damian has the size, he has the skill, he has that it factor about him. And man, they should have rolled that wave. And I think they letting the light die out, guys. Maxine Dupree backstage segment and getting jumped by Becky Lynch. Guessing, I didn't give it a thumbs down, a thumbs up. I'm just saying, hey, all I can say is Maxine, she's really pretty. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. CM Punk in ring segment, interruption by Logan Paul and later division gets a thumbs up barely, and that's including the brawl with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes joining in on Punk's behalf. I'm just barely giving that a thumbs up, guys, straight up. Then we had Stephanie McCure. She defeated Raquel Rodriguez, another 2-star match, although it was pretty good. Thumbs down on the Roxanne Perez attack after the match, but thumbs up on Nikki Bella's turn. And, as far as, Roxanne, well, let's say her attack, it's just the same old. But Nikki Bella, she acted like she was Stephanie McCure's friend. And even though, like I say, I'm seeing a lot of people who can't hold together friendships, but Nikki Bella is not worth anything if she wouldn't have did that. She's not worth anything when it boils down to it. She's good. She's very good for back in her day, but she's not on the level of what these women are now. And for her and as a villain, you can make her that way. If they're smart enough, she has enough wrestling ability. She has enough to where it can make her really look good against a Stephanie McCure or against a Liv Valkyrie or against a Bayley or whatever. You can put her in there against fan favorites, and with the cheating element of a heel, really making her look like a heel or really a real good heel, and really knowing the tricks of the trade, you can make her look like a real superstar, even better than what she did back in the day. So big ups to her. I'll give that a thumbs up on the attack by Nikki Bella. Even though I really didn't care for her to attack Stephanie McCure, I can understand why they did it, but can they follow up on it? That's one thing that really gets to me. I don't think they can do it, but we'll see. All right, CM Punk, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso backroom talk with Adam Pearce and William Regal was just okay. Sheamus defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. I gave that 2.5 stars, guys. That was a pretty good match. I really liked the sportsmanship shown after the match between Sheamus and Shinsuke. Okay, then they had the announcement of the last standing match to face John Cena. I give it a thumbs up. In the first match, we will see Javon Evans versus Gunther, guys. And then the second match is Solo Sikoa versus We Don't Know, and that will be at Madison Square Garden. And to tell you the truth, man, look, Javon Evans is very talented. You see him on the indie scene and everything. Very talented guy, man. But I tell you what, Gunther better kill this guy, man. I still don't think the taste is out of people's mouth from what Jey Uso did to Gunther and tapped him out with his own hold in that short period of time. I don't think that's gone. They took a monster. That's another thing that bothers me. You took a guy who's a certified star, a guy who's a monster. People believed him. They believed everything about him. You took him and you wasted him. And that's one of the things that I worry about from World Wrestling Entertainment. They know how to waste talent, guys, and nobody's being built up as a star except for Triple H. And he's gonna spit in not John Cena's, but he's gonna spit in CM Punk's face somewhere down the road. A lot of people believe that, and I think so too. But we'll see. Maybe not. All right, then we had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka and Kairi took the win with help from, and they took the titles with help from Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who started a beatdown of Charlotte and Alexa, who was saved by Io Sky and later Rhea Ripley, who was in a mask. Looks like there's going to be War Games. So, he was calling out War Games. They're going to be a War Games match, except for look like Charlotte is not going to be involved in this, but she probably will, but maybe not. But, man, that was Monday Night Raw. And as far as Monday Night Raw, I give that 3 stars, maybe 3.5. Let me go back. I say 3 stars, a little bit over 3 stars, a little over 3 stars, guys. But I was looking at Monday Night Raw, and that's even more of an advertisement. It really is. The advertisement is all over the ring. And once again, I felt like they was trying to sell us something. Sadly, that's just the way I feel about it. But, hey, it's up to them. Can they navigate this thing? Can they turn it around and turn it in their favor? And everybody gets a shot, man. When you first starting something, you're trying to iron out all the wrinkles and get everything straight. But maybe they will. Maybe they will. Maybe Triple H will figure this thing out. But once again, guys, don't think that, hey, I do not like the wrestling of the day, but because I do. I definitely like the guys that fly around. I definitely like the athleticism of all the new guys. I really do. But, man, by no fault of their own, wrestling is being ruined by the people that's up in the offices, guys. It really is. But, man, I appreciate everybody coming in and rocking with the Straight Wrestling Show. But, guys, I'm definitely going to have to get out of here, man. My mouth done got dry and everything. Oh, my gosh, man. I'm just like, woo, man, what a day. What a day. But I appreciate, once again, man, appreciate everybody coming in here. Guys, I'm going to have to come on tomorrow, man. Hopefully, I get to come on and do some Collision tomorrow, AEW Collision, but I'm going to look forward to doing that. And before AEW Collision, I'm going to try to review this AEW Blood and Guts. I'm going to have to go back and watch AEW Blood and Guts. Everybody saying that it was really good, but, man, hey, I'm going to have to be the judge. I'm going to have to judge that on my own accord, just like I did Monday Night Raw. They said it was really good. And, no, I think I gave Monday Night Raw 2.5 stars, not 3 stars. Let's see, but so just like Monday Night Raw, I'm about to go and check out this Blood and Guts myself and give it a rating. I don't know if it was good or not. I feel that it was good, but I do think there's going to be I'm going to see some things in it that I don't like, and I probably put it down, not being a hater or anything like that. But I'm going to be straight up, man. I'm going to be straight up because anytime I look at wrestling, I'm looking at the future of it. Can it draw the general public? That's what I'm worried about. Because I'm worried about something from my childhood dying, man. Just dying a slow death. And something has to be done. But guys, once again, man, appreciate all of you coming in, checking out Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate my man Magnum coming through here. Appreciate Ray coming through. Let's see. Let me get it. I'm going to have to see if I can get all the names. Let me go down my phone and look at it. But all you guys are saying something, man. Look like, okay, Mag says, great show, Harry. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Mag. You too, brother. Let's see. And then we got Lucas talking about WWE, 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 WWE. Let's see. Richard said, Harry, how would you rate Iceman King Parson and Pork Chop Cash in Mid-Atlantic? C+, man. C+. Basically, they were good. Top tier, top of the line, mid-card status. Never really got to Iceman King Parsons when he first came. He was up there in the top, main event status. Pork Chop Cash was too, but they both, fell into that mid card status. Never really took a beat down or anything like that. Never got embarrassed over in Mid Atlantic, but they did pretty good. Richard. Alma says, I totally agree with you, Harry. Unfortunately, it's trending down. Bad, yes, it is. Until they get someone who knows what they're doing and know the wrestling business, not sports entertainment, BS all the time. Yeah, exactly. All right. Ray says Monday Night Raw and SmackDown both have maybe one or two good matches, and the promos most are too long and suck. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I don't know if you guys saw what Jim Cornette said about it. Let's see, I put that in the group. Jim Cornette pretty much said everything that I've been saying. I don't know if I can find it, but yeah, look, let's see if I find that in our group. But yeah, Jim Cornette, man, hit the nail on the head. He was straight up about it, man. And let me see if I can find it in the group. But yeah, Jimmy Cornette knows what he's talking about. He definitely knows what he's talking about. And I'm like, Chris, I say, you, Majestic Marie, and all, all y'all will say, Harry's a hater. I want to be a hater or whatever. It ain't hating it, man. It's definitely not hating it. It's just being truth. Just telling the truth about it. Let's see. But you know what? A lot of us continue to watch. We definitely continue to watch. And just something about Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal said something too, man, that I definitely have to address about Jinder Mahal. I'll go back to that. But Jinder Mahal, man, talking about how they can't afford this. They got to pay for this and they got to pay for that. Man, I'm just shaking my head. I really am. And I do have my thoughts on that. I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about it tonight. But let me see if I can find this Jim Cornette article real quick or what he said. But Jim Cornette, man, he's 100% right about what he said. Gonna say I might have to look him up a different way. But there's so many people post on our page now. You got to continue to go up and down, and look for something from somebody. But yeah, let me see if I can find this thing, man. But yeah, Jim Cornette had some things to say, but Jim Cornette was 100% right with what he said. It was crazy. Like, man, you taking the words right out of my mouth, bro. 100%. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's definitely somebody that knows this business, knows how it works and how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be. All right, here we go. Jim Cornette. All right, guys, let me see if I can get it up here. Oh, shoot. All I'm getting is a picture right now. All right, guys, you see that's Jim Cornette. If you see it right now, it's kind of hard with this virtual reality thing to have going up. But nah, you ain't going to be able to see it. But okay. All right. Jim Cornette said this. Jim Cornette recently compared Raw. He said this on November 6th or SmackDown to watching paint dry. He said, okay, Jim Cornette, once again, recently compared watching Raw or SmackDown to watching paint dry. Among his many remarks, he said, it's a 2-hour show. In 45 minutes or so, you get 2 matches of action, and at the end, somebody runs out to start a fight before they go off the air, Jim Cornette, said Jim Cornette. Cornette went on to tear in the WWE for being boring, repetitive, and stuck on autopilot. He said it's gotten so dull that everything just blurs together, and his co-host Brian last admitted it's hard to even stay motivated to watch the shows anymore. All right. Said the message from Cornette is clear. WWE fans, WWE has become boring. And that's what Jim Cornette said. And that's what I've been saying for months here. Well, for a long time, I've been saying this. Same thing. The same thing. You know, so, I mean, you talking about an industry heavyweight, somebody who knows way more wrestling than I do, or done been to way more shows than I have been to, and been watching it longer than I have. He's 62 years old, 62, 63 years old. He's been watching it for a long time, a historian of wrestling. Been saying this, and I've been saying this. But, you know, you have somebody out there like Dutch Mantel who trying to say, hey, man, you know, he trying to confuse fans. Hey, isn't it the best it's ever been? Right now, it's the best it's ever been. No, it's not. Matt says, I have seen e-racing and Madden football tournaments. I think soon they will have a WWE or a video game league that will have WWE scared and running. Probably so. I would not be shocked. Would not be shocked. All right, Matt says, wrestling needs another Vince McMahon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Lucas said, good night. Good night, Lucas. Don't let them bite, Lucas. Don't let them bite. All right. But everybody know, the older people know what I'm pretty much saying. But guys, look, hey, once again, man, look, I'm not going to go over everybody's names, but, you know, hey, I'm going to just go over a few that I know that was in here. Magnum, Armor Clark, Black Rain 7920, Ray, Lucas, let's see, Marcus Miller, all y'all who came in here tonight, and everybody else who came by, stopped in with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in and pretty much listening to me throughout. Man, this 2.5 hour, almost 2.5 hour show. You could have been anywhere, but hey, you decided to be here with Straight Up Wrestling Show, and I appreciate it, guys. I definitely appreciate it 100%. But guys, wow, look like Clemson won the game, man. 20-19 over Louisville tonight. Man, appreciate Christine Saucy Girl being in here tonight with us, but I appreciate everybody being in here tonight with us, man. But hey, once again, it's HBT with Straight Up Wrestling Show, and I am out of here. Stay straight up. Peace.